Hey there. Welcome to Product Marketing School. I'm your host, Nitin Karthik. As Director of Product Marketing and a top product marketing voice, I'm keenly aware of the importance of continually sharpening the saw. And that is why on this show, I bring you important lessons from some of the best product marketers out there. And today, my friends, we are joined by Stefan Gladbach, who is a top product marketing voice. Tell us, Stefan, from your experience, what is one important lesson that we can learn?
Sure. My advice will revolve around navigating internal politics, and I'll recommend a few things. So, one, make sure to develop solid cross functional relationships. So, a huge part of your job is going to be explaining the why behind the messaging and launch decisions. So, driving internal understanding of the product and positioning is really critical for hitting future goals. And it's especially important to develop a solid relationship with your product team. For product, it's kind of an old joke that PM and PMM should be joined at the hip. And I don't think it needs to be that close, but you should be communicating with them on a weekly, if not daily basis to make sure you're fully aligned on roadmap and launch strategy. So try to build rapport and try to make sure not to have a big head. PM and PMMs have distinct jobs, but there is some overlap in gray areas on certain tasks. So being able to delegate back and forth is really critical for success. And the second thing I'll recommend is to really own the messaging. So starting out as a PMM, after you do your due diligence and you craft a compelling messaging statement, there's going to be individuals, maybe 2 or 3 levels above you who are going to disagree with certain aspects of your messaging or even want to change certain pieces. So it's important to be able to defend every part of your messaging with data. Stick to your guns if you think something is right. While taking feedback is a very important part of the process, really the worst thing you can do is a messaging by committee approach and end up with a confusing, jumbled Frankenstein style messaging statement. And my last part is a little bit of a caveat to that. The third point is don't let your hubris get in the way. So I kind of seen this as a pitfall for a lot of PMMs of not being able to adjust when faced with new data. You think your messaging and positioning is perfectly on point, and then new data or customer feedback comes in, and you just tend to ignore it or think it's a fluke. And I would just advise don't do that. Be adaptable. Always be willing to change and improve. Product messaging and strategy should be an ever-evolving process. So those would be my 3 tips.
Fabulous, fabulous, Stefan. I've been there myself, where I've been witnessing, our messaging evolve and seeing how it becomes a little bit maybe diluted and, not so optimal. And your point about, watch out for your own hubris. I think that's excellent advice. So wonderful. Thank you, Stefan. My friends, armed with that knowledge, onward and upward.